Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us. We are in the Senate chamber, and we're with Stuart Lehman, and Stuart is assistant curator, and he's taken us around the Capitol building today. And Stuart, what a great looking room this is.
Yes.
How true to the original form is it?
Very true. In the 1980s, there was a lot of restoration done in here. This was actually the start of a major program of restoration throughout the Capitol. And this is one of the rooms that has been most closely put back to its Victorian appearance.
I'm looking around the room. I see what looks like gold leaf. Is it real gold leaf?
Yes, it is a real 23-karat gold leaf.
And what about the fireplaces? I see one there and I see one here.
Yes. Well, this room has practically perfect acoustics. So if some senators or their staff wanted to have a private conversation on the floor, it might be disruptive because everybody in the room can hear what they're saying. So they soon found out that the only two acoustic dead spots in the room were inside the two fireplaces. And so sometimes you will see senators and their staff members during a session, if they need to have a private conversation, they'll go into the fireplaces and talk. They've been nicknamed the whispering fireplaces after the famous whispering spot in the United States Capitol.
Yeah. I'm looking at, well, we can see where the senators sit. They're on the outside of the room. There are places to sit. Who's that for?
Yeah, that would be for staff members and interns who might be bringing information in or running errands for the senators. If you were to go back to the 1880s, there would be children serving as pages, and there are pictures of them getting cigars for the for the senators who are here.
The gallery where we're standing, we've got a gallery on this side and a gallery on the other side. Is there any distinction between the two?
Not anymore, but back in the 1880s, this was the ladies' gallery and that one was the gentlemen's gallery.
And today, people can come in here and whenever the Senate is in session and watch?
Yes, all the sessions are open to the public.
How often do these get filled up?
Well, it depends on what the Senate is working on at the time. If it's regular day-to-day business, such as approving sales tax authority or confirming appointments, then it would be easy to find a seat in here. But if there was a controversial issue on the schedule that people had a lot of concern about, then the galleries would be packed and you'd have to get here very early to find a seat.
Is it first come, first serve?
Sometimes they do reserve seats depending on what bills are being represented.
The desks look fairly new to me.
Well, some of them are, some of them aren't. When they opened the chamber up in 1881, there were 34 senators, and today there are 63. So there are 34 original desks that were designed by the designer of the chamber, Henry Hobson Richardson, but the rest have been added since. Richardson was one of the most famous architects in America, and he paid great attention to detail, down to the furnishings that were going into the room that he designed. He designed the tall clock that's in the corner as well.
The clock says 1:30.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And the room itself has never been used for anything other than the Senate?
Well, it does have a few other uses. It gets used for the Electoral College once every 4 years. And in 1913, it was used for the Constitutional Convention.
Mm-hmm. My eyes aren't as good as they used to be, Stuart, but I look over at the main entrance to the Senate chamber, right above the door, and I think I see an image of a gentleman's profile.
Yes. In the 1980s, they chose to decorate the lintels above each of the doors. They had it had been intended that they be carved, but in the 1880s they had never gotten around to do it. So the architects had a modern-day sculptor come in, and they chose to commemorate the 5 different architects who worked on the Capitol. That was Leopold Eilitz, Henry Hobson Richardson, Isaac Perry, Thomas Fuller, and Frederick Law Olmsted.
Of the Olmsted Park fame?
Yes, yes. He is technically not an architect, but a landscape architect. But he had played a very important role in the construction of the building.
Was there, refresh my memory, Stuart, was there at one time, was there plexiglass here?
Yes, yes. In the 1960s, they put bulletproof glass. The gold leaf had deteriorated and was replaced with a tapestry. The chamber was in fairly poor condition. These seats had been replaced with theater seating. But in the 1980s, they redid all that. They removed the glass and restored it to its Victorian appearance.
I see there's a metal detector that you have to go through when you come in.
Yes, both chambers have another level of security to them, especially when they're in session.
One of the landmarks of the building is the $1 Million staircase.
Yes.
Are we far from that?
No, we can head over there. It's just around the corner.
Let's go over to the $1 Million staircase. Short break, right back.